Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today will be a quick house review of the house of Yves Saint Laurent. That is right, Y to the S to the L. I'm going to be giving you guys my quick thoughts about the men's fragrances from this line primarily, and also a women's fragrance. So to me, YSL, they've always sort of sat a notch below Dior and Chanel, right? We got Dior and Chanel up here, the upper echelon of the designer game. Right below them, to me, is YSL. Not a terrible place to be, in my opinion. So Yves Saint Laurent was founded by Monsieur Laurent himself back in 1961 and based out of Paris, France. Now what is YSL known for? They are known for their women's and men's fashions, women cosmetics, and obviously men's and women's fragrances. Now YSL released their first ever fragrance all the way back in 1964, and it was called Y for Women. Now I haven't smelled that one, but I can say I have tried Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium. It is an amazing, seductive women's fragrance. I would highly recommend it. Has a coffee, syrupy, very nice evening time wear vibe to it, and I think it's really, really good. So with that, let's dive right into the men's line. I'm going to go with the L'Homme line. This line is definitely the most popular, and I would say the newest, and has made Yves Saint Laurent easily the most money. So I'm going to start off talking about the originator of it all. This is YSL L'Homme, the one that spawned all these million L'Homme flankers. So I've spoken a lot about L'Homme on my channel, and quite highly of it, might I add. It is a super versatile fragrance that gets compliments, very well-rounded, easy to wear, has a gentlemanly vibe to it as well. Yeah, it just smells really, really nice. I think it is a great versatile scent to have, and I think YSL did a really good job of making this sort of their flagship men's scent. And of course, that spawned this one. Let's get the elephant out of the room right now. This is easily, it has to be the top seller. Come on, it has to be the top seller from the house. So much hype surrounding this one, especially in the YouTube fragrance community over about the past 3 or 4 years at least. This is, in fact, Lana de L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah, this one has got a lot of talk, both good and bad, might I add, because this is now the famous / infamous, should I say, victim of the batch reformulations. We have DHI, which is just as bad as this one, and also this one, because there's been many conspiracies of YSL reformulating their batches, watering them down, making them have less performance in order to save a quick buck here and there. Not sure if I quite believe that, but I could definitely see it happening. Lana de, this is a very nice cardamom, spicier take of the original L'Homme, and that's what I do like about this L'Homme line, because all of these L'Homme flankers seemingly have a little bit of the original's DNA with something unique on top. And I quite like that. That really reminds me of how Dior does things with their Dior Homme line. You know, you got Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Sport, and how they do all these different variations while keeping the same DNA. Back to Lana de, this thing, definitely people say it gets a lot of compliments. People say it's the ultimate seductive date fragrance. I kind of beg to differ. I don't think so, and people ask me all the time, hey Bradley, is this worth a purchase even with the newer batches? I would say yes. If you really, really love the smell, only buy it for the smell. Just keep in the back of your mind that it may not have as good performance as you may hope. So that's how I feel about Lana de. Unfortunately, you can't really find any vintage batches for a decent price. I'm talking about like under $300 anymore. So I don't think it's worth that kind of money if you ask me. There are much better scents out there. Let's go with this one, a highly underrated pick from the L'Homme line. This is L'Homme Libre. A lot of people sleep on this one. Not really sure why. It's really, really good. This, once upon a time, was going to be my ultimate versatile signature scent. It's a very, very versatile, sporty scent. Has quite a liberating feeling, as the name would suggest. Violet leaf is the main note in here. I found out that I absolutely love violet leaf. Sort of floral touches in here, has a sporty edge, kind of refreshing and crisp. Has some pink pepper in here as well, and a little bit earthy. Find it very, very nice and unique. Unfortunately, as with all the L'Homme line, not really good performance at all. I wish they would have done something different with that. However, L'Homme Libre is still a very nice pick. Don't sleep on this one, because right off the top, you may think shower gel. You may cast it aside, put it into that shower gel generic category. However, there's a little bit more to this fragrance that meets the eye. Let's go with my last fragrance from the L'Homme line that I actually own. This is a little sample of L'Homme Parfum Intense. Now, just judging by the color of this juice, it looks like it would be pretty potent, right? I was kind of wrong. It doesn't really even perform that much better than L'Homme. I think this is another case of slapping an intense label on a fragrance and charging double just to make a quick buck. This has a grape bubblegum opening, sort of a sickly white floral amber thing going on in there. It is a little bit, I guess, in a weird way, a more intense version of the original. However, I don't think it's that good and definitely not worth the price that they're charging. Another one that I don't own is L'Homme Sport. This is a sport flanker when the whole fragrance industry was going crazy with sport flankers, and I don't really like that one. It just smells to me pretty much 90% like the original L'Homme with even less performance, which we don't even need that, so cast that one aside. That one is a no-go for me. We have L'Homme Team, which was released last year. Now that one is okay. It's middle of the road for me. I think it smells nice. It's a sharper, woodier take on L'Homme. Kind of sporty, I guess. Performance is about average. Again, I don't really own it. I've smelled it a couple times. Didn't really blow me away, so I never picked it up. Alright, now this next one, I did actually feature it in my thumbnail. This is Lana de L'Homme Electric. This is the new flanker that's going to be coming out, and to my knowledge, as of this recording date, hasn't even been released in stores inside the US. So we'll be very interested to smell that once it does drop in the shops. Just judging by the note breakdown, it has a crazy mix of notes. I mean, it has cashmere in there. It also has sage and some woody notes and tonka beans, so it's going to be very interesting to see what this Electric Flanker is going to bring to the table. So I'll let you all know when I try that one. By the way, I'm going to be reviewing this one in the next couple weeks too, so stay on the lookout for that. What else do we have here? We also have flankers of Lana Wheat, also include Le Parfum and L'Entente. Both of these are not really worthy of a purchase in my opinion, because while they both say Parfum and an intense version of the original Lana Wheat, which is so it's like flanker of a flanker of a flanker. That's how crazy YSL has gone. Anywho, the L'Entente one, that one smells a little bit too feminine because it has the added note of iris. It's very soft and doesn't even perform that good. While the Lip Parfum, that has a weird chocolatey, sort of a soapy, vetiver-y, berry weirdness to it, really doesn't smell that good to me. So both of those, unfortunately, I do not like as much as Lana Wheat. And that pretty much wraps up the L'Homme line. I think that probably out of the entire line, honestly, the Originator is the best. It's the most versatile and gets the most compliments for me. As for other lines, we also have the YSL Collection. This is a collection of fragrances that YSL originally released back a while ago and that they have since reformulated and repackaged in these cool looking bottles right here. For example, this one is Rive Gauche. I did a review on this one last month, and I really do enjoy it a lot. This is a classic men's fragrance. Really plays off the barbershop experience. Sort of smells like shaving cream fresh out of the bottle. Very uplifting, invigorating, yet classic and masculine. Great performance on this one also. I think that the YSL collection in general is pretty nice. Also, another noteworthy one is M7. I never got to smell the original M7 when Tom Ford was the creative director, unfortunately. However, the newer one does smell pretty nice from what I have tested. One of the best oud fragrances ever. But I do have to give props to what YSL has been able to do with reformulating and, for the most part, keeping the original scent inside these new reformulated bottles. We also have the Body Kuros. Now, to be honest with you, I don't like the Kuros DNA that much. It's very, very sweet, and I never really liked it. I know it was a definite powerhouse in the 80s and 90s and even up into the early 2000s. A lot of people love that one, but that's just not the one for me, unfortunately. And to end things, I'm going to end with the Yves Saint Laurent Oriental Collection. This features some fragrances including Splendid Wood and Noble Leather and several more. These are supposed to be like Oriental versions of fragrances that Yves Saint Laurent has kind of tried to take from the Middle East. I'm gonna have to get my nose on some of those. They seem very interesting to me, and I've heard that they all have pretty nice performance on them as well. So guys, that was my quick take on the House of Yves Saint Laurent. Let me know what your favorite YSL fragrance is in the comment section down below, as well as your overall thoughts on the house. Also, let me know if you want to see more house reviews like this and what fragrance houses I should review. So that will be it for this video. What should you take away? I think L'Homme is the best. If you just want one really good YSL fragrance, this is the one I would go for. Whenever I think of this right here, I always think of L'Homme. So that's gonna be it for me. Be sure to stay tuned on my channel for some more amazing fragrance content that is upcoming, and I'll hopefully see you back sometime soon with another video. Peace out.